Trev, what do you think about we'll come to Liverpool and Rangers, their group, in a moment. What do you think the draw so far? It was pretty good for the English clubs, wasn't it?
Yeah, listen, it's a top competition, isn't it? You got excellent teams in there. You know, you look at maybe a Sevilla and you think, yeah, they're not the team they used to be, but the history tells you that they keep on winning in different competitions. So, yeah, there's some tough games. It's a great one for Erling Haaland, obviously going back to his old club, Dortmund. Yeah. Looking at Chelsea's group, Milan, the same team they used to be. Chelsea will be very confident they can get through that. I mean, it's a ding-dong of a Group A, with Ajax and Napoli joining Rangers and Liverpool. Tottenham, I think, like you say, I think they'll be happy with that. And Celtic, it's a tough group, but I think it's a group that they'll look at and they'll think, well, we're going to the defending champions, and then Leipzig and Shakhtar. You know, it's a great one for the fans. If I was a fan of any of them clubs, I'd start saving now and get me pennies in the bank and start saving up to go to the away trips.
You know what Seville was like? They will flood into Madrid. To go to the Bernabeu and watch your team is just amazing. Right, what about Rangers then? I don't know. I did hear a Celtic supporter used to talking about how delighted he was for Scottish football for Rangers. I don't think he was. I don't think it was a Celtic supporter.
No, he couldn't have been.
No.
No, listen. You know, just being. Looking at Rangers and where they could have been if they didn't get through to the Champions League, it could have been a really difficult season, not just this season, but the funds and the economy of the football club could have changed compared to Celtic. So this gives them an opportunity to stay in touch with Celtic. It's obviously good for Scottish football because if you've got Celtic with, 40 million excess to the rest of the football clubs, it's not going to be competitive. I think Rangers getting into the Champions League gives them that kind of funding as well, and at least you've got two teams that can compete with each other, and hopefully it'll filter down into the Scottish Premier League, and the rest of the league can improve as well.
From the Rangers support, some great trips there. Holland, they've just been to Eindhoven, now they go to Amsterdam. Anfield, what a scramble for tickets there will be from the Rangers fans. And Napoli, a lot of them will go down there. So I think it's great. Celtic, on the other hand, Leipzig, Shakhtar, but the Bernabeu is the big one. It's a couple of cracking groups. H is a good group. Paris, Juventus, Benfica. And also Group C, Bayern, Barcelona, Inter. Now they're a couple of crackers.
Yeah, some brilliant groups. I look at Group A and I think the fans are mad. I'm thinking like you've got Liverpool, you've got Napoli, you've got Rangers, and you've got Ajax. So if you're going away to some of them games, just be careful.
What about, I'll come back to that. I don't want you to sound bitter or anything about Rangers, because at the end of the day, it was a hell of a result, no doubt about it, and a top display as well. There was chances, of course, of PSV, but look, that is in terms of finances, you said, for Rangers Football Club, it's fantastic. What about Chelsea then? Milan, Salzburg, Dynamo Zagreb. I don't see a problem for Chelsea there. I really don't.
I don't, but you look at the form in the league and it's not been superb, has it?
No.
I think that you look at the performance against Spurs, and I think everyone to a man would say that that Chelsea were excellent that day. Should have probably won the game. But then you look the following week and they've gone to Leeds and been done 3-0. So, a little bit of inconsistency. I think there's still a lot of movement going on there in the next 6 days of the transfer window. But listen, Chelsea are a top team. They've won the Champions League in recent years and they'll be looking to start this tournament well.
Stuart, Group D, Spurs. We shouldn't forget Spurs. Frankfurt, Sporting, Marseille. I think Tottenham come through that all day long. Yeah,
I do as well. I don't think it's a cakewalk. I mean, Marseille and Frankfurt, to name but two of this group, there's fans will be really behind the home side. But to be honest with you, I think it's a good group for Spurs. I really do.
Yeah. What about? Do you think, Trev, from a Liverpool point of view? I know they've started poorly. They've had so many absentees, but do you think they're worried about that group, Liverpool fans?
I think they'll be worried about all fixtures at the moment because they look a little bit of a shadow of themselves. I'm not sure why.
Well, here's one for you. It was Stu asked me earlier. Do you think they're too far behind to catch City already?
No. I mean, it's 3 games in. It's a long season. There's so many points to play for. Just going on to Rangers on this group, I think the fact that Alfredo Morales' decision was made and the players went away and got the result, I think that'll give them a lot of confidence, not just in the manager but in themselves, because he is a maverick, he scores goals but he's not reliable, and I think it was the right call by Gio to drop him from the squad because you don't know what you're going to get from him, and Stuart will tell you more. But as a coach, you need to know what you're going to get, especially from your star players. At least he's going to, you know, put the effort in and stay on the field of play. So I think that was a good decision, and obviously that's reflected well in the result. With Liverpool, I was shocked with how toothless they looked at Old Trafford. I thought, you know, obviously Mane's a world-class player. They hugely missed him. I thought Firmino didn't look himself. Salah got his goal, but he wasn't really. I thought both fullbacks for Manchester United did very well. And they've just seemed to have lost that sparkle a little bit, Liverpool. And
so you give Rangers a chance of beating them?
Well, yeah, you would do, because they've, you know, obviously getting to the final of the Europa League last year. They're competitive. I think they've got a very competent manager. And they understand what they'll be facing. It'll be a difficult task for Rangers, but with Liverpool in the way they are at the minute, you would say they definitely have a chance, and they'd be confident that they could give them a game.
I think one thing when you look at Rangers, that they sort of run a European campaign sort of alongside West Ham last year, so we were looking at their results and whatever, and it's been no fluke that they keep turning great results at home. Especially at Ibrox. It's going to be a real tough place for all of these three teams to go and play and take them on, because they're just getting great result after great result, and it's not a fluke, it's not a one-off in any way, shape or form.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.